Hello and howdy doody. Yes, got another Carbot review for you. Now, you're probably wondering, yes, I've already bought 2 KTRT bots this month, and I like to restrict myself to buying 2 KTRT bots a month, but something else cropped up. A brand new Carbot appeared as if by magic on eBay, and I just couldn't resist it, and I went, buy! And this is what I've got. Say hello to Hello Carbot's King Guise. That's guise as in disguise. If you do the direct translation of his Korean Hangul name, you will get the word guise as in guys and dolls. But it's Guise, and the reason he's called King Guise is, and I'm going by the official translation of the text on the box art, he's a transforming genius from the future. So that's what it says on the box. I mean, here is the box, and basically this bit here says transforming genius from the future. And here he is. Now, I paid 64 quid for this guy, which is a bit more than what I would normally like to spend on Carbots. And this guy is the same size as a regular Carbot. I mean, here's Prawn. Put him next to Prawn, and as you can see, he's a regular sized Carbot. Now, when I bought this guy, I'd been sort of clued in that this guy was on the way by one of my subscribers, Mr. Philosopher, and he basically said in one of my comments, he says, "Oh, there's a new Carbot coming out that's there's a quadruple changer. It's got a like a land mode, an air mode, and a sea mode." And I thought, I haven't heard anything about this guy. What's he going on about? Anyway, a couple of weeks later, the eBay seller, who's my KTRT crack dealer of choice, Mr. Soon, put this guy on his eBay page, and I follow his shop, and it popped up there, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, boy! And I didn't really look at the price. And after I bought it, I sort of thought, well, I was sort of thinking, well, have I really made the right choice? I've bought this thing without knowing any more about it, because really what I like to do is when I buy a Carbot, you know, like old Pronny here, I like to watch the show and see the character in the show and get an idea what they're about, and then I might, you know, start to like them and want a toy of the character. Now, this guy is brand spanking new. He's literally been out in Korea less than a fortnight, right? And he hasn't appeared in the TV show yet. They're screening the last remaining episodes of Season 3 in Korea at the moment. I think they're up to about episode 18, 19, something like that. So they've got another 7 or 8 episodes to go. And this guy hasn't appeared yet. Jet Ren's has appeared. Jet Ren has appeared, but not this guy. So he hasn't actually come out, hasn't, you know, appeared in the show yet. I haven't seen him in action, so I know nothing about him. All I heard was there was this quadruple changer Carbot coming out, and I just, knee-jerk reaction, I just bought it. But then after I bought it, I was trying to justify to myself spending that amount of money, because it was more than I'd usually like to spend on a Carbot. So I sent a message to Mr. Soon, the seller, and I was basically saying, you know, is he bigger than a regular Carbot? I was expecting him to be, you know, sort of like the size of Dandy or the size of Storm. You know, I was expecting him to be, you know, sort of like, you know, that much bigger than a regular Carbot. But he sent me a message back, and he said, no, it's like a normal size Carbot. And then he was saying, oh, well, if you're worried about, you know, he thought I was complaining about, you know, the toy being overpriced, but I wasn't. It's like I said, I was trying to justify to myself spending the extra money on it, and it was a bit of a misunderstanding between me and him, and a few messages went backwards and forwards, and it's all good. It's all good now. I've bought it, I've got it, and as this thing is so new out in the market, I must be the only person in the Western Hemisphere who's got one of these right now. right? Anyway, this is his robot mode. Now, this guy is a quadruple changer, right? He's got 3 alt modes. Now, first problem I have with this guy, he doesn't transform into a car. Now, that there says hello Carbot, right? Carbot. Carbot. A robot that's a car. You know, all the Carbots turn into cars. This guy turns into a car. This guy doesn't. So that's kind of a bit of a gripe or a nitpick or a disappointment that I have on this guy. Straight off the bat, he doesn't turn into a vehicle. So he kind of... It's a Carbot that doesn't turn into a car. It's... You know, doesn't work in that respect. It's not what it's supposed to be. But anyway, that's besides the point. Now, as I said, this guy is a quadruple changer. He's got 4 different modes. And you could argue that some of the cost of this guy has gone into the extra engineering that goes into all these extra bits that make up his additional modes. So you can justify the extra cost in that respect. He is, well, we'll just go through the robot at the moment. Now, he's got this quite striking colour scheme of, you know, sort of like a darkish red and a bright yellow with silver and black highlights. Well, they're not exactly black, they're kind of a charcoaly grey colour. And he's quite a good looking robot. Now, he has these huge shoulder pads and these wings on the back. But I've had a little play with all the different modes, and this guy is open to interpretation, shall we say. You can, you know, it's got enough joints on it, on the, you know, the kibble bits that make up his other modes, so that you can move them around into different positions and change the look of it. Like this guy, what I like to do, I like to move the wings down to the back, and then I unpeg this section, pull this fin up at the back, and you then clip them together and then fold them down the back, and then that cleans up his robot mode quite a bit, makes it look a bit more, you know, a bit more normal. Articulation wise, well, let's just start with the head. I don't know whether you can see, but he's got a face plate, but he's kind of got fangs cut into his face plate. He's got, like, you know, big jawry fangs cut into his face plate, and his head is on a ball joint. He hasn't got any light piping, but his ball joint is like really flexible. Like, it goes from side to side, it goes up. Now, it doesn't go down so much, but if you open this little flap here, his head is on a rotational plate. You can move it down, and then you can get him looking down as much as you want. So there is room for movement there. So he's got probably one of the most flexible necks of any Carbot that I own. So that's good. The arms, you've got ratchet shoulders. Obviously they hit his back kibble, but you know, they go up and down. Then you've got shoulder goes out to there. He's got 90-degree elbows. Nothing at the waist, nothing at the fists. He has got thigh swivels. The hips go that far forwards, go that far back. He has 90-degree knees, and his feet, they do have a rotation joint, which is, you know, on part of this, but it's a transformation joint. He's got heel spurs that you pop out, and his feet are cut at a slight angle, so you can give him an A stance. So yeah, he's, as a Carbot goes, he's got the normal raft of Carbot articulation. He does virtually everything that most other Carbots do, just as well. So he's great. You know, he's, you know, typical Carbot articulation. But that's not what you buy this guy for. Now, the robot, in my opinion, is the best mode out of the 4 modes that you get out of this guy, because some of the alt modes, they're beasts. They're a shark, an eagle, and a lion, right? Now you can take these modes with a pinch of salt because they are a bit, yeah, they're a bit of a stretch, shall we say. But I think I'll start with the worst one first. Let's go to the eagle mode. So to start off with, you need to pull out the claws and then move them to there. You then pop his head away into there. Then take this and then clip that into there, and there's your eagle head. You then unfold the wing pack and put that back down. And then you've got to do a funny thing with the legs. Now, the legs is a huge bulk on this character, and in the other modes, sort of deals with them okay, but in this mode, well, let's see. What you've got to do is you've got to twist them sideways, and then you've got to bring them around, and then there's a pegging port on the underside of the wings on either side, and there's a peg on here, and then it doesn't quite line up properly, but you just push that into there, and you just pull the legs round, and then you push that into there. And then you take these bits and move them round to the side, like that. And that is the eagle mode. I mean, look at it. It's ridiculous. Doesn't look too bad from the top. My biggest problem is these great hunk of leg underneath the wings. They don't really work. They just... And I think I've got that in the wrong place. There we go. And I assume there's some sort of weapons pods, because you open up the feet and they've got what look like some sort of energy cannon thing in there. So that's that. It's got sort of articulated claws. You can't do anything with the head. The wings have got a few joints. They've got a joint there and a joint there, and you can sort of move this taily thing. It's the worst mode out of the free alt modes, to be honest. It's it's a load of rubbish. Right. So less said about the eagle mode, the better. In fact, I like to think if you put the wings in a certain way, instead of looking like an eagle, it kind of looks like a grouse. Like some kind of grouse, like a ground bird. But anyway. So, let's move on swiftly to the next mode. This guy's quite easy to transform. I mean, I figured out all of the modes pretty quickly, just using the boxes for reference, and typical Carbot, it's fairly intuitive, quite easy to work with. Right, we want to go to the Loin Mode. So we need to fold the wings back up again. And then you take this beak bit. Now you need to split it, and then there's these guns inside, which slide out, and you put it back together, and then hang on, that's got it, and then you move that back. The legs, you bring them back to the rear, then you peg them together. You return these things back to the outside and plug them in. And connect the legs. Then you collapse the legs, like so. Then you, the wing pack, you just fold it back on the back there. Fold up the footsies, take these things, and there's a foot underneath each of these which you can fold out. And that gives you the legs, and then you rotate them down until there's a kind of a soft click. And then finally the head reveal, you pull out the head. And there we have his Loin Mode. Now, it's better. It's better than the Eagle mode. He has got this big lump over the top. You know, basically the Eagle head becomes this thing on the top, and he makes use of it. He's got these two guns that stick out that you slid out. They don't come out. They're just on sliding joints inside. So he's got this cannon pack on top. Has some articulation in the front legs. Nothing on the head. It doesn't turn. The mouth doesn't open. In fact, the mouth on all three of the beast modes don't open, which is in the final mode. It's a bit of a bummer, but anyway, back legs, a bit of motion there. Now again, like I said, these guys are open to interpretation, and what I like to do with this mode is I like to move the wings forward like that. It makes it a little bit more compact. It's just a shame you couldn't do more with this thing here, but I mean, again, it's a stretch calling it a lion, because that does not look like a lion's head to me. I thought that if you open the wings out, I think it kind of looks like a griffin. So again, another interpretation of the design. So that's his second mode, second beast mode. So we've only got one more left to go, and this one from this mode is not too bad. So put the head away, push in the guns. Now what you need to do here is you need to split this, pull out these fins, and then you turn them head pieces around, and then you clip that into the back, and that forms the tail. Fold up the claws, and then you rotate these forward along the body. Open out the wings, bring up the fin at the top. Now these, there's a pegging port on the inside of the wing which goes onto here, and that pegs into there on both sides. Like so. You then fold out the wings to get the fins, and then finally fold up the feet, unpeg these bits here, and then spin them round to the front, turn them in on each other, clip them together, and there we have the shark mode. Now, out of all three of the beast modes, this is the most anatomically correct, because you know, it's got a big toothy grin, it's got nostrils, it's got eyes set on top of the head. Now you could argue that these grills in here are his gills. It's got a dorsal fin, it's got pectoral fins, and it's got a vertical tail rather than a horizontal one, because dolphins have a horizontal tail, sharks have and fishes have a horizontal tail, so he's got that. It's a bit square, a bit chunky, and you can't open the shark mouth, and I think that's a huge disadvantage, because if you look on the box, it quite clearly shows the shark with an open mouth. The toy doesn't do it, but when you look at the engineering inside this particular piece, where the wolf feet are folded up inside, it's kind of understandable why they did it the way they did, so you can forgive them that. But yeah, there's his shark mode, and like I said, I reckon it's the best out of the free alt modes. It's it's no way means perfect, but it's still a better representation of a shark than a bird or a lion. So yeah, but this thing's quite big. It's quite long. I don't know what I've got to do in size comparison with. Hang on. So there he is next to Swindle, Alternator Swindle. So yeah, it's quite flat and very wide, but it's quite long. So yeah, there we have it. There's his final mode, and to get him back to robot is fairly simple. Doesn't take long. Like I said, and there we go, he's back in robot mode. Yeah, he's quite easy to transform, even though he's a quadruple changer. That's just the fact that that's Carbot engineering for you. It's fairly simple, intuitive, and easy to do. Like I said, I just don't know what to make of him, to be honest. He looks okay. The colours are alright. They don't really do it for me, but they're good. He's bright, he's colourful, he's shiny, decently articulated. Some of the alt modes you can take them or leave them, but you know, the fact that they've bought or engineered a quadruple changer into the line is quite interesting. But again, he doesn't transform into a car, so they dropped the ball on that one. But he is a decent figure. I took a punt on this guy, buying him at the price that I did and the time that I did, without actually researching the character more. And my bad. Can I justify spending the money that I did on him? Yeah, kind of. I'm glad I bought him. I'm not dissatisfied with him. I have, like I said, I've got my niggles, but he's a better Carbot than some of the others I've bought this year, let's put it that way. And on that bombshell, I'm going to end this review, and hope you've found it entertaining and interesting, and I will see you next time. Ta-da.